Hello PTAA artists, it's Miss Terrell, your art teacher, and today we are going to be talking about space. It is the next element of art we are going to discuss. So far we've talked about line, shape, color, value, and now space. We only have 2 more left. So what exactly is space? Space is the area in and around an artwork. Sometimes in an artwork, things are close together. That means there is very little space between the objects or subjects in the artwork. And sometimes in an artwork, things are far apart. That means there is a lot of space between the objects or subjects in the artwork. Space can also help the viewer, which is us, tell how close things are to them and how far away they are. So you should have a space worksheet. It is uploaded on Google Classroom. You can print it out, or you can get your own sheet of paper and copy down what is written on your worksheet. So what I want you to do first is to cross out the spots that say shading and perspective. We're not going to do those two. The first one we are going to discuss is overlapping. And this is when shapes in the distance will be overlapped by shapes that are closer. Let's take a look at a work of art by Faith Ringgold called Tar Beach No. 2. This was created in 1990. So if you look at her artwork, there is lots of overlapping. When you look at the buildings, they are all on top of each other. So the buildings that are closer to us are on top of the buildings that are further away. Now let's try ourselves. So on the overlap portion of our space worksheet, we're going to draw our own example of overlapping. We're going to kind of follow along what Faith Ringgold did and make a little cityscape. So I'm going to start off with one of my front buildings, give it some windows, and then I'm going to put a building behind it. And as you can see, my building that is closer to me is on top of the building that is further away. It overlaps over the building that is further away. So I'm going to draw another one. So this building is closer to me. Again, give it some windows. And then I'm going to draw a building behind it that tells me it is further away. If there are buildings behind, that means it is further away. So when things overlap, it kind of tells us what is closer and what is further away. The next one we're going to do is placement. Objects that are farther away are placed closer to the horizon line. A horizon line is where your sky meets your ground. Let's take a look at Andrew Wyeth's Christina's World. This was painted in 1948. When you look at this, you see the house is on top of our horizon line. So that tells us that the house is further away from us. So remember, your horizon line is where your sky meets the ground. And it's also a horizontal line, so maybe that'll help you remember what a horizon line is. Horizon lines are always horizontal. So let's try it on our own. So the first thing we need to draw is our own horizon line. And I'm going to do it about right in the middle, maybe a little bit above the middle on my little square. Remember, it's where the sky meets the ground. That's your horizon line. And I'm going to draw a little house just like Andrew Wyeth did to show that my house is far away from us because it's close to the horizon line. I'm also going to erase the pieces of horizon line that are inside my house because the horizon line doesn't cut through a house, it stays behind it. And then I'm going to draw a little flower to tell me that this flower is close to us because it is further away from the horizon line. Next, we're going to talk about size. Objects that are far away appear smaller. Objects that are close to the viewer appear larger. We're going to look back at Andrew Wyeth's Christina's World, and when you look at it, the girl is a lot bigger than the house. That tells us that she is closer to us. And the house is very small, which tells us that it is far away from us. We can also look at The Hunters in the Snow by Peter Bruegger the Elder. This was painted all the way back in 1565. When you look at this, the people are a lot bigger because they're closer to us, and the people that are below are very far away. They almost look like ants. So let's try it on our own. So in that square that says size, we're going to first start with a horizon line. Then I'm going to draw a house, small, to show me that it is far away. Don't forget to erase the part of horizon line that is inside your house, because the house is in front of the horizon line. And then, to show me that something is closer to me, I'm going to draw it big. So I'm going to draw a tree. Pretty big. It kind of takes up the whole front space of my drawing. Erase the horizon line. So my tree is closer to me because it's bigger, and the house is far away because it's smaller and in the background. The last thing we're going to talk about is value and focus. Objects that are far away appear lighter in color and less clear than objects that are closer. So let's take a look back at Peter Bruegger the Elder's Hunters in the Snow. When we look at this, in the background there is a mountain, and it looks very light. So the colors that he used are very light. Do you remember your tones, tints, and shades? He's definitely using tints in his background to make things look lighter. So things are a little bit less clear too. So it doesn't look like a perfect mountain. So it's a little blurry in a way. So the things that are lighter will be in our background and further away. Things that are closer to us have more detail and are darker. So the people and the dogs and the trees that are close to us in the front of our drawing are darker. Do you see he uses colors like dark brown and black and reds to make things look darker? So let's practice on our own. So on the value and focus square on our worksheet, we are going to again draw a horizon line, and I'm going to draw some mountains just like Peter Bruegel. And I'm going to shade them in very lightly. Remember when we did our value scale and how we barely put pressure on our pencil to make things look light? That's what I want you to do here. So very lightly shade in our mountains. So there we have our mountains. Now I'm going to draw a tree, and I'm going to make my tree very dark. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on my pencil to make it very dark. So things are darker are closer to us, and things that are lighter are further away. Alright, so this is what your worksheet should look like whenever you're done with it. Please make sure you turn in a picture of it on Google Classroom. If you need any help or are confused, please don't hesitate to email me, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much. Bye!